The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
For the first time since all the athletic stories came out, Aaron Rodgers has responded. What did the Jet quarterback say? We'll talk about that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. We bleed Jet green each and every day. This is not the same old Jet. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jet bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show. If you missed it earlier, Robbie Sabo joined us in his weekly spot, so check that out if you're seeking more Jets content. We got a lot to talk about. Normally, on Tuesdays at this time, we bring on Andrew Fialkow for a film review. However, there's no film to review as the Jets did not have a game last week. And you know what? Thank God, given how the season has gone. But Andrew's nice enough to still come on, chop it up, talk about the state of the team, and we'll get to some new comments from Aaron Rodgers, who was on Pat McAfee earlier, addressing a lot of the rumors about his future with the Jets. What's up, Andrew?
How's it going, Jake? Yeah, I was just saying to you, it feels like, I mean, I don't know. I was saying to you that you have these shows every day, but I've been nicely off of the Jets for a while. It feels like a while. I haven't thought about them in a good amount of time, but then obviously last week the bombshell report comes out, and obviously Rodgers on McAfee today. So even on our bye week, we're obviously the talk of the town, which at 3-8 is not really what you want, but it is what it is.
For a bye week, you had a GM be fired. You had two hit pieces come out in The Athletic. You had a contradicting report come out Sunday morning, basically pushing back on some of the stuff in that same Athletic story. And, oh, yeah, yesterday we got news that the Jets are bringing in Mike Tannenbaum and the 33rd team to be part of the search for the next head coach and general manager. Rick Spielman is also obviously heavily involved, and I heard him on a podcast earlier talking about his role. So we'll get into that, I'm sure, tomorrow on the show at some point. But I want to get right to the Aaron Rodgers and the story that came out, because this was his first opportunity following the bye week to address some of the stuff in that Athletic piece. Here's Aaron Rodgers being asked about it on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, it's all true.
Okay.
There we go.
Boo! He didn't go to dinner with Woody Johnson in the city. He doesn't blah, blah, the whole thing. But 2025, have you given any solid answers? Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we start wherever you want to start. Listen, I don't talk to that person. So I don't, there's obviously people that I guess she talks with. I don't understand what the motivation would be or what you think you're getting out of that. But when it comes to me, I can tell you again, my circle is really small. I'm not talking to people who are talking to people like that. So this is like, at best, it's a third game of telephone with me, and I don't have I don't have a relationship with reporters who are going to break stories like this.
So Aaron's saying a lot of it is not true. Now, some other takeaways here. I don't want to play just like clip after clip of Rodgers. I think we could sum it up. He said he's undecided specifically about playing for next year. However, if he does play, and if the Jets want him, referencing a new GM and new coaching staff coming in, his first option would be to still play for the Jets. He said the reports of him going out to dinner with Woody, he said basically it was not Woody, it was Christopher Johnson, which I found to be notable, Andrew, because we all think Christopher is going to be running the day-to-day pretty soon once Woody goes back overseas, if he's appointed to some sort of position in the Trump administration. So I don't know if you saw a lot of the clips. It was making the rounds on social media. I watched the whole thing live. What do you think of those initial comments there from Rodgers?
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch the whole interview. I did see most of the like headline stuff that he said. It's so hard, Jake, because I don't know what's true, what's not true. We know Rodgers' background. It's there's time to time where he says things that aren't true, and I don't know. I mean, obviously like Diana Rossini, she's made articles like this all the time. Not all the time. I feel like there's been multiple articles published that have had a lot of false information in them. So as a Jet fan, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. What my takeaway is about Rodgers wanting to play for the Jets next year, if he's going to play, I think that's going to change drastically when the entire coaching staff is fired. So I don't anticipate him wanting to maybe play his last season in the NFL with a new coaching staff, a new offense. I think he said it in one of the clips, like, I don't know what the staff's going to look like, if Brick's going to be here, et cetera. And, I mean, I don't anticipate anyone in the staff being retained. So, like, legitimately, I don't know who's going to be retained. Maybe, like, the DB's coach, who I think that's Marquez. What's his name? I don't know. What's the DB's coach? Oh, no. We still have Tony Oden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to retain him. Besides that, though, there's not going to be a lot of coaches that Rodgers, who currently is on the team, likes. So I just don't see a way that he's back in 2025. And I actually think it's interesting that he said he doesn't know if he wants to play yet. I don't think Rodgers is going to be playing football next year.
You think he retires?
Yeah, I do. I don't know what situation he's going to want to go into. I would love to hear anywhere he would want to go from you, from anyone. I'm just curious and been thinking about it myself. I just don't see a spot where he's going to want to go, where there's coaches that he's going to be willing to play for, because he's not going back to the Packers. Was Hackett going to get another OC job at a random team? I don't think so.
Well, here's the thing, right? If he's going to play next year, he no longer can basically dictate the offense he wants to run, because there's no one that's going to basically, coming off this year, build their offense around the system he wants when he didn't play well enough to justify that. So, you know, he's talked about wanting to play next year, but he's also said it depends how his body feels. The one thing that is notable about what he said there is that he denied those reports that came out in The Athletic that he doesn't want to play for the Jets next season, but he does want to play next year. So he's on the record saying, no, if I play, my preference is the Jets. But now we're at a point where you're not waiting if Rodgers wants to play. If you're the Jets, you're letting, I would hope, a new GM and coach come in and decide what direction they want to take the team, because the job is not that attractive if you're forcing a new GM and coach to have to deal with Aaron Rodgers if they don't think that he's deserving of being the quarterback next year, or the cap ramifications don't warrant bringing him back as a bridge quarterback. So that's now on the table, and there's still 6 games left. So we don't know what could happen down the stretch, how he looks, how the Jets look. A lot could change. We're doing these conversations now like the season's over. There's still 6 weeks left in the season, and that's crazy to even say out loud given what's already happened this year.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, just to think about it, he's not going to come on the Pat McAfee show and say, I don't want to play for the Jets while he's on the Jets with 6 games remaining. So it's an easy comment for him to make. Is there truth to it? I truly don't know. Right now, he's surrounded by all his buddies. He's got Lazard. He's got Devontae. He's got Hackett there still. So it's comfortable for him. Those guys are likely not going to be on the team next year. So I don't see a way where he's retained. I don't think he's going to want to be on the Jets next year. Look, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're Hall of Fame quarterback, it's a tough way to go out, truthfully. That's why I kind of lean that I don't know if he's going to want to be done with football. If you go out the way that it seems like he's going to go out, missing the playoffs, losing record, bad year, I just don't know what destination, including the Jets, is a good one for him in his mind. I don't know where he's going to be looking and say, okay, I want to go there, or I want to stay with the Jets with a brand new OC, a new offense, Garrett Wilson and a rookie receiver and Xavier Gibson. I don't know. I don't know.
And let's also talk about this scenario. Like, certain guys, when they reach this stage of their career, they retire because they don't want to be a backup. Like, Tom Brady was never going to play and be a backup. He was only going to play if he could be a starter. Peyton Manning, same thing. Eli Manning, even. Like, he could have stuck around if he wanted to. He didn't. Like the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, they leave if there's no clear starting opportunity for them.
Yeah.
And right now, as you look around the league, I don't know if there's a team that's like, yep, you're definitely our starter. Aaron doesn't strike me as a guy who wants to be a backup, wants to do the Joe Flacco thing or Fitzpatrick thing and be a journeyman at the end of his career, or the Andy Dalton thing, right? So if he can't go somewhere where he's a starter, he probably would retire. And I mean, would he want to go somewhere where he'd have to be competing for a job? Like, that doesn't strike me as something he'd want to do either. So I'm kind of with you. I think he's playing for a lot these last 6, if not with the Jets, but just to play on someone's team next year if he shows like he's healthy all of a sudden and could put some good performances together.
Yeah, I think he's going to play for himself, obviously, to see. He's probably self-evaluating to see how much he has left personally. A place that I saw circulating that he might go is Minnesota. I don't know why that's a place besides the fact they think McCarthy might not be ready and Rodgers is going to get to start there until McCarthy's ready, or they're going to let him start the whole year. I don't know. But then also it's Kevin O'Connell's offense, which he is, if I'm not mistaken, a McVay descendant. So he doesn't like that offense, even though he won 2 MVPs with LaFleur. He doesn't like these offenses that emphasize literally just making it easier for the quarterback.
He'd have to come off that. That's the only way he could play next year in that scenario.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out where he's going to want to play. And again, I said it, I think 2 weeks ago on the show that I was unfortunately ready to move on, because I want to make it clear. My standpoint is like, I appreciate Aaron a lot. He did a lot coming to this team. He did a lot for the team after he got a season-ending injury of the Achilles, which he didn't have to do. He came back, he coached up Zach, he was on the sidelines, he's around the facility. Good teammate from everything I've heard and seen. I don't know, besides that, why people like. I feel like now people are like against him a little on Twitter. I think it's just for the fact they don't want him on the team next year, which is fine. But to say that he hasn't given it his all and like been for the Jets in a lot of ways, I think is wrong. So I'm appreciative of him, but I'm also ready to move on to the next chapter.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're giving you 2 shows a day, every day on this channel. Thanks to everyone who is a longtime listener. If you're new here, welcome, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Well, the other thing that I found interesting is there was a story that came out Sunday morning from Ian Rappaport, basically saying what I felt for the last couple of weeks, that this idea that his future's already been decided with the Jets, I didn't buy, because there's still 6 games left. And what if he does look good down the stretch? But also in that story from Ian Rappaport was that Rodgers apparently was resisting getting any medical scans, so the Jets and him didn't know the severity of his injury. Here was Aaron Rodgers being asked about that story.
Well, I feel great right now. I mean, I had the week off. I felt really good last week. Our last game we played against the Colts, felt, as good as I felt in a long time. I will not willingly go on IR without an injury. When it comes to scans, first of all, I played 20 years. I know my body better than anybody. Second of all, I got a great relationship with Zuff over there and the doctors on staff, and we had a lot of great conversations where they, diagnosed what I was dealing with, and I told them how I was feeling, and we talked about the possibilities of playing and rehab and what it would take. And there was no mandate ever, you got to get this scan. And then I was like, I ain't fucking getting a scan. It was, listen, how do you feel? I told him, I know my body well. What do you, see in your diagnosis? Okay. What are the risks of playing? What are the likelihood of playing? What kind of treatment do I got to do to get back? And that was that. There wasn't, any weirdness around us. Normal conversations, like MRIs, are used a lot of times to figure out what's going on. If you're not quite sure, I have knee pain. Okay, I need to get an MRI to see what it's going on. Is it a bone bruise? Is it, cartilage, has some perforations in it, or is there a ligament or something? When it comes to, especially the hamstring, I don't know what else they were talking about. I met with the guys. I let them do the examination. I told them what I was feeling, and we had great communication through the whole thing.
Couple things off that, Andrew. You're watching the film every week. I'm watching it as an untrained eye, just being a Jet fan. He doesn't look healthy, but he continues to insist that he's healthy. So I'm not buying it. He doesn't look like he's healthy. He doesn't want to push the ball downfield. You could see the way he has played since the game you and I were at, the home opener, when he was moving around and looked like the old Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't come close to looking like that guy since. He's had good games since then, but not from how it looked with off-the-schedule throws and extending plays. Like, he looked like himself that night, and we haven't seen that since. I'm just not buying that he's healthy, despite what he says there.
No one's healthy at this point of the season. I don't think he's like – I think the report was that he was neglecting scans.
Medical scans, yep.
I don't think that's true, but I mean, he's not healthy. He's not, and again, the Achilles tear was extremely detrimental to him. That set him back a ton, and he's probably still getting comfortable with it, even though I know he was about a year ago pushing to come back from that Achilles tear. He's turning 41 in 2 weeks. He's not healthy. I don't think he's going to go on IR. I do anticipate him finishing the year. And again, if you told me we were getting 17 games of Rodgers, I would 100% have told you this team was making the playoffs. So that's that. But I don't know. I look, these reporters, they know it's Aaron Rodgers. It's the biggest pull you could get from the media, eyes-wise. So I don't know, man. They just throw out so much stuff that it's hard to know what's true and what's not true. But I take his word for the health stuff, minus the fact that he's definitely more banged up than he's putting on to be.
Right.
But,
which you respect him trying to gut it out. But there comes a point where if you're a serious organization, which we know the Jets are not with this regime, correct, you would have said, hey, we know you want to play, but we got to sit you down for a game. This is why Tyrod's here. He's the quarterback, so you could be healthy because you're hurting the team. But no one's going to check Aaron Rodgers on this team. No one has the stature to go up to him and do that. It's not going to happen.
No. And the whole report that Woody wanted him benched after week 4 is no chance that's true.
I don't believe that personally, because then they traded for Devontae 2 weeks later at 2-4. Why would, if Woody thought Rodgers was done and he wanted them benched, why would he then go get Devontae at 2-4?
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. A lot of the report didn't make sense. I mean, I don't know. The bottom line is he's as healthy as he's going to be coming off a bye. And like we kind of alluded to, these are 6 games that are pretty big for him and for the franchise moving forward. If they somehow win 4 games and go 7-10, would I want him to be back? No. I don't see a world unless maybe they run the table, which they're not going to. But if they were to run the table, then fans would want him back. I don't know. Again, it's also on the coach and GM that are coming. It's going to be, is it cap friendly to keep him and then cut him the year after? Does he want to play? There's a lot going on. Like you said, we have 6 weeks left in the season and we're talking about it now.
Well, the thing is, if he does look good down the stretch, that's the only scenario you could justify bringing him back. And he has to look like obviously good down the stretch, not like this gray area. Like, yeah, he wasn't great, but they did score 27 points and, the defense should have held on against the Colts. Like, he wasn't good for a lot of that game. It was a lot of yak, great individual plays by Brees and Devontae in that one. Like, that wasn't a good quarterback game, despite the stats telling you, oh, well, the Jets went out there and they scored 27 points. Like, let's not fool ourselves here, because if you bring him back next year, you're hurting your cap in 2026 and 2027. So if you're bringing him back, he's got to be worth bringing back, because you already have Tyrod on your team and Jordan Travis, and you can add another rookie to that quarterback room. So he's got to clearly go out there and look healthy and look like a guy you want back, because if you come away from this year going, I'm not sure, then the answer has to be no, because another year older, he's probably not going to be 100% healthy next year. When you get old, you deal with the type of injuries he's dealing with: hamstring, ankle, knee. That's what happens when you're 40. You're more susceptible to these type of injuries that maybe don't knock you out for the year, but you're going to be on the injury report the entire season, and that's a problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, what GM and head coach is going to want to bring him back no matter what? I don't know, because you really want to start fresh. Look back at it now. We could start now, looking back a year from now, at the end of next season. Let's say they go, I don't know. Let's say they bring Rodgers back. They go 8-9, 9-8, make the playoffs, lose the first round, and barely miss the playoffs. then it's gonna be like, oh well, year one they had a Rodgers, so like now let's give them another 2 years to go. No, we want to get going now. Like I don't want any more gap years of like we did this year for Douglas and Saleh, who ended up getting canned during the year when they probably both should have been canned before the year. No more gap years, more people being held accountable, and that doesn't align with Rodgers staying. I can't see it.
It's just tough to picture right now. And I mean, maybe let's hypothetically say they hire Mike Vrabel. What if he's like, hey, I know Aaron, I have a relationship with a guy. I want him as my quarterback. But even if that were to happen, right? Mike Vrabel would then have to tell Aaron, you're running a modern offense. We're not bringing Hackett back. And I don't know if Rodgers wants to do that, if he wants to learn a new system. So you're right. He might just retire at that point. Like there's a lot of scenarios. If I was putting a percentage on it, I'd probably say it's 75-25. He's not back. Maybe even 80-20. He's not back right now, if I had to guess. But there's still 6 weeks to go. I want to see what he looks like post-bye week. Olbrich said he's really healthy yesterday. Like, show us. Throw the ball downfield. Like, let's actually see Aaron Rodgers look like Aaron Rodgers for a couple games in a row. And then I'm willing to reconsider my opinion based on new information. I'm not that dead set on this. I want to see what it looks like.
Right. And you have 6 games. Really, for Rodgers, it should be like a F it, 6 games. Like, let's just see what I have left in the tank. Again, because it has to be also on him to be self-evaluating himself to say, like, he's not set on playing in 2025. So this is all him to be like, hey, can I still do this? Can I still play at a level that is worth me coming back and going through a full offseason, full training camp, and then another 17-game NFL season to go through? He's a smart guy. I think, in a sense, he'll almost make the decision. Is kind of my opinion.
Do you believe the reason why he hasn't been throwing downfield is because he's playing through something in his lower body, his lower leg?
I hope it's that and not mentally he's checked out a bit of just being the quarterback that he's been his whole life. I don't know, man, because I've been watching him for as long as I've been a diehard football fan, and it's just not Rodgers. With the film we're watching, not Rodgers. Him deciding to not get through progressions and quickly get to the check down, not Rodgers. Not throwing to open guys, not Rodgers. It's a lot. And yeah, it does feel like a lot of it is mentally he knows, hey, if I take another hit, it might be it. So, like, let me get the ball out right now. And if it goes to 2nd and 10, it's 2nd and 10. If it's 3rd and 10, I get the ball right now, then I'll make it to another series. It almost feels like that watching the film. Like, because look, man, you watch guys around the league like Matthew Stafford. He's a bit older. That guy hangs in there like no other, and we'll take a hit no matter what. We'll wait until the last second for a window to open, for a progression to get open, and we'll take a hit every single down and down out for the benefit of the team. Rodgers has not done that this entire year. So.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. We're seeking out channel membership. So if you want to gift the membership, hit the super chat money sign and hit I want to gift the membership. I believe you can only do it from the laptop or desktop. So shout out to everyone who has always paid it forward to your fellow listener. I'll gift the membership here coming up. So make sure you like the video and you're subscribed and you're eligible to potentially get one. We're presented today by Underdog Fantasy. Baby, let's go. Download the Underdog app. Take advantage. New customers deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code is Asman. Take advantage of that special. There's no local sports on tonight, but there's some college football. You got a little action. You got a little college hoops. You certainly got some NBA and NHL games. So make your picks with Underdog. Give yourself some action in these games. Make it fun. Underdog, promo code Asman. Take advantage of their special they got going right now. Shout out to Underdog for being a part of our show. We'll come back with a Jet Seahawks related Underdog pick'em entry later this week on the show. So stay tuned for that one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here as we're talking about some of the takeaways from Aaron Rodgers' interview with McAfee. Just to kind of recap here, Rodgers saying he's not sure necessarily he wants to play next year. He'll see how his body feels. But if he does play, the Jets are his number one option. He adds a decision is obviously based on whether a new regime would even want him back. So that is important to note. He denied reports that he doesn't want to play for the Jets, but he does want to play. He also said the idea of him going on injured reserve, he will not go on IR without an injury. So this idea the Jets will just shut him down, he's saying he will not go on IR without an injury. And as for the report that he refused medical scans in order to keep playing, Rodgers says he has great communication with the medical staff and he knew the exact nature of his early season injury. That's the hamstring injury he suffered against the Denver Broncos. That's from Rich Samini's Twitter account I just read from, recapping what Andrew and I just discussed. Gusbuster Hotline's open if you want in on the conversation. Tom Ace writes in, need Fialkow to break down Rodgers' body language from that interview.
Rodgers always like this in his interviews. He's sitting or he's not, there's no body language involved. He's one of the most convincing humans, I feel like, whenever he talks. Every word that comes out of his mouth, I end up believing, it feels like, after listening to him. And then you go back and like, wait, was that maybe not true? But I'm telling you, you listen to Rodgers talk, he's a very convincing tone person. He's polarizing, obviously, but I don't know. I truly believe a lot of the things he says. Like, I don't know, man. These reports are crazy.
I have no reason not to. You know what I mean? Like they paint him out to be like this villain, and teammates love the guy. And I've spoken to his teammates off the record, and they've told me things, and like they all say the same thing. And like they voted him most inspirational last year for things you talked about earlier, like him coming back to the team, flying cross country, trying to help Zach, trying to do the right thing and come back. And he took a $35 million pay cut. I think what annoys me is that it obviously has not worked, and it's a shame because I really thought this team would go out there and at the bare minimum be a playoff team this year if they couldn't win the division, right? Have a winning season, make the playoffs, all that. It hasn't worked, but like the idea that he's being painted like some villain here is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Like he got hurt. It's unfortunate. You can't blame anyone for that. But what's happened this year, like if you're watching these games, he hasn't been great. He's not what we thought he would be. He's clearly, I think, playing through an injury. I know you agree. But what he was supposed to have with this team, the Jets failed him. They failed to give him the defense we thought he was going to have. They failed to give him the special teams and kicking game we thought he was going to have. If they had this diminished version of Aaron on even last year's team, they're not 7-10. They're probably 10-7. And that's what's so frustrating about this year.
I agree. Any villainizing of Rodgers is crazy to me because he decided to come to our team. And if anyone wants to go back to last summer and remember how they felt, I've not felt that way as a Jet fan in a long damn time. And the excitement was just out of control. I mean, you were at the opener, right? The Buffalo game. I was at the opener. I mean, it was probably the best 20 minutes of my recent life that I could think of. Just him running out and then even the first drive with Brees's long run. And man, it's super, super unfortunate that he tore his Achilles, but he's obviously hurt playing through his confidence being diminished after the injury with his lack of mobility. Not a villain, not a bad guy. Like you said, teammates love him. Like, go to any interview where any of these new teammates are talking about him. They talk so, so highly of him. No one doesn't like him. And that's also something that's wrong. So I don't know, man. The media loves to kill the guy, but I'm appreciative for what he's done, even though if a Jet fan looks at it, it hasn't been much and it's been embarrassing to a certain extent, but it's not like he shoulders all the blame, man. It really isn't.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate. And, you and I, did these shows last year where we would show how good the defense was and how, this team was just a quarterback away, but they're not that team. And that's what's so frustrating. They're not even close to that team. So it sucks. And it's no one's fault he got hurt, but truly that ruined everything. Because let's say he played most of last year, Andrew, and they had this season this year where they grossly underachieved. Let's just say that happened, right? There'd be a different head coach right now. Who knows? Maybe Mike Vrabel took this job. Maybe Jim Harbaugh's here right now. Like, we'll never know what would have happened if last year was a bleep show and it's like, well, let's try again with real coaching. Like, Aaron didn't deal with his Achilles. Maybe he played a lot better than what we've seen this year, but coaching was the downfall. They made the playoffs and flamed out in the wild card round, and it's like, we're not going to go anywhere with Robert Saleh. Let's try and bring in a real coach to take us further. And we'll never know what that would have been like because of the unfortunate reality that he went down 4 plays in and everyone got a mulligan because of it.
Yeah, and people could come at me sideways for it, but I truly believe that the season would have been good last year. Like, I really, really think that they would have been a playoff team last year. Even if you got, I don't know, man, 12, 13 games out of Rodgers. Zach had to play a couple. I think the team would have been a lot better. And there's no way you could understate or undermine the effect of the Achilles tear. Like, it's just huge for him mentally. He's 40 years old. Everything changes after that. Even me being so dumb and assuming that he was going to be his old self to his not old self, but as good as I thought he would be last year, this year after the tear was wrong to think. Maybe the training camp practices got in my head a little bit, and they probably did. But yeah, last year would have been a lot different. And like you said, maybe if things didn't go great, they would have changed the coaching staff. And man, this team needed different coaching, because this team is one of the worst. I think it's the worst coach team in the NFL. I don't know by far. I mean, it's the only team I really deep dive on, but just from a fan perspective, I cannot see another team that even the Panthers are like. I mean, I like Dave Canales, but everyone was like shooing them out and shooing Bryce Young out, and Bryce Young took a couple of weeks off. He looks really good, and they almost beat the Chiefs on Sunday. Like, we're not even close, in my opinion, to these teams that look motivated to go play football. We look like a bunch of individuals that care so much about social media and their own stats and all individual praises, no one playing for each other. And that's why the result is what it is every Sunday, which has not been a positive one.
Big Fella starts us off with a $20 super chat. Big Fella, you, sir, are the man. Rodgers is cooked like a turkey on Thanksgiving. Give us Jackson Dart. Happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. Sauce equals cat emoji. I think we know what Big Fella's inferring. Look, he might be cooked, Big Fella. You're probably right. However, I would like to see what he looks like following this bye week to see if there's any signs of a guy who says he's healthy. So let's see it, you know?
Yeah, because it sucks. Like, I mean, I know you're tapped out of I don't know. I would love the team to get a top 5, top 3 draft pick going into next year. I'm not going to root against them on Sundays.
No, I'm rooting for wins. There's no obvious quarterback. We don't know who the GM is. Like, I don't want like Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson requesting a trade because this team finishes, 3-14,
Right. I agree. I also, like, if you're a real fan of the team, there's a lot of guys you still root for. I mean, I love Garrett, still pull for him. Quincy, I love. I still like Sauce a lot. I know he's soured on fans a bit this year, but I'm still a big fan of his. Michael Carter, I still like. It's not like there's like, as much as I find this team so unlikable, because it really is an unlikable team as a whole, individually, there are still guys that you have to pull for. I mean, really, I just love Garrett, and I really pull for him at every time. I don't know, man. Hopefully, you would hope to see some improvement in playing time for Malachi going forward. At the worst, you would hope to see him play more, and hopefully they manufacture some touches for him. So, yeah, I'm not on board with the losing out aspect. I just, for the team's morale, I'd rather it not. But who knows, man? It's not like we have an easy schedule coming up. So
no, which, you know what? They have basically been in almost every game this year, right? They got blown out week 1 against San Fran. They got blown out against Arizona. All these other games, they've been right there. They've been close football games. And like, it doesn't matter who the opponent they play. They had Buffalo beat if they had a kicker that night. It's so frustrating. So I'm actually glad that they're playing some good teams, though, down the stretch, because then you get a real evaluation on everything, right? If Rodgers was carving up bad football teams like Darnold did at the end of, that 2019 season, like, what does that really mean, Yeah,
100%. Actually, so they play Seattle, Miami, Jacksonville, the Rams, the Bills, the Dolphins. And
every team they play is in the mix for a playoff spot besides Jacksonville.
Correct. That's a extremely. If you told me we won 4 games, I'd be shocked. But
right,
I don't know.
I think they probably win 2 because the Jet thing to do would be to actually have a legit chance at a top 5 pick and then win that extra game. So I'm going to say they win 2 of their final 6.
Well, what's funny that you say that now is I saw this earlier, like Tua's splits when it's 50 degrees and higher or 50 degrees and lower are extremely different. And, of course, we play Miami at home week 18. I'm sure we're going to lose. Like, if there's one game I think we'll lose, it'll be to Jacksonville because everyone's going to think, oh, we should go beat them. We'll probably lose that game. maybe we win this Sunday, and then we probably split with the Dolphins. We're going to get killed by the Bills in Buffalo week 17 unless they're benching their guys. And then, I don't know, I like the Rams team a lot, so I wouldn't assume a win there. But I think we split with Miami. Like you said, I now that I see that week 18 is at home, it's going to be freezing cold. I could see
Two in the cold, baby. Let's see how he looks on Thursday night in Lambeau.
100%. That's going to be really interesting to see. But, yeah, we'll probably win that game when we don't need to and shouldn't. But who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, I gifted one channel membership, and it's an honor to do it because I love the people who tune in to this show.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear your name called, you are officially an Asmaniac. Listener Mike Cruiser is the recipient of the membership. Congrats to Mike for getting the membership. Let's see. A couple comments I wanted to read here. Jesus Jerry wants to know, Andrew, are you streaming from your den?
My den? No, this is my family room. So I guess, yeah, sure. Same thing.
That works.
Yeah.
Reese says, everyone wants Rodgers gone, but don't have any effing ideas who our future quarterback is. I think the future quarterback is probably Tyrod, Travis, and then a rookie as your quarterback room next year.
Yeah, but it's hard to know in November of this season who our quarterback of the future is. Obviously, we would want it to be ideally a rookie quarterback that we groom or play from the jump and is supported by a good coaching staff and can be effective. It's not like we want Rodgers. This is a tough comment because like we want Rodgers. I don't personally think Rodgers can be back next year, but yeah, we don't know what our we have ideas, but we don't know who our future quarterback is yet. It's November, and thinking about the draft, it's in April, so I don't know.
A lot of film breakdown on college quarterbacks coming your way, Andrew.
Yeah, can't wait.
We'll get to your calls coming up. Max writes in, Rodgers has 2,200 yards, 17 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Y'all just don't know football, so you blame the quarterback is all that is happening. I just think that's lazy. Like, statistically, it doesn't look bad. What do your eyes tell you what you're seeing from this guy right now?
I don't want to be – I'm not – okay. It's extremely lazy to just go look at a box score, look at stats, and I know I consume football in a very different way than how many viewers are 400 probably viewers that are watching right now probably consume football differently than every single person. But I never will watch a game and take strong conclusions from it without being like, oh, I'll go watch the film and see what happened, or I'll try and educate myself more. These stats are not – I mean, they're real, but they don't tell any part of the story. Context is extreme key in football, and you need to know what's going on. And it's like, yeah, it's a cool stat line, not even really to me, but I guess if we don't know football, because we're like, I can't really have a good debate with that argument.
Like this, he's better than what they've had. No one's disputing that, but I think what people miss out on the Rodgers discourse, and I'm a Rodgers guy. In a perfect world, I'd love for him to be here next year if he plays great down the stretch.
Yeah.
It's the cap ramifications of him being here next year. $23 million is his cap hit. Great. If he was playing like Aaron Rodgers, that's a huge bargain. I mean, that's like not even like top 10 quarterback cap hits in the league. It'd be awesome. However, if he's here next year, you now have $63 million. If he's here next year, and we assume next year would be his last year with the Jets, right? Because no one's saying he's playing beyond next year. It's, oh, bring him back, and then he's the bridge quarterback. That's what everyone's saying. Okay, fine. Now you're dealing with $63 million of dead cap in 2026, or if you want to spread it out over 2 years, $21 million in 2026, which is fine. That's not a big deal. But $42 million in 2027. Why are we affecting our 2027 salary cap if a lot of us think there's no point in even bringing him back next year? So now we're going to let Aaron Rodgers potentially impact either 2026 all at once with $63 million or $42 million in 2027 if they spread it out. It doesn't make sense at this point.
What, Jake, what new GM coming in is going to want to have that a year after 2 years after they start, knowing that they're down $42 million on the cap? I can't imagine any intelligent general manager wanting to do that. So it doesn't make sense to me.
Now, if he was playing great and this team had a window again next year, then yeah, who cares about 2027? You're trying to win. But They're 3-8 right now. We got to be realistic about where this team is. They need a reset.
Yeah, 100%.
Hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Nicholas writes in, I'm tired of everyone blaming Rodgers. Okay, he goes. What's the better option out there? Tannehill, like Andrew said, horrific coaching.
Okay. Yeah, so, okay. We're not blaming Rodgers. Rodgers is a problem, factually, in my opinion. He's one of 100 problems the Jets have. What better option is for next year? Next year is going to be we need to tear this thing down and try and build it back up. I don't want Tannehill, really. Why would we bring in Tannehill when we have Tyrod under contract anyway? The coaching is as big of a problem as anything else, which is why we took Sal out of the equation. Ulbricht's probably not going to be back on the staff, and the entire staff's going to be gone. So it's not like we're blaming Rodgers lazily. The quarterback's the most scrutinized position on the football field. He hasn't been good enough. Has the team been good enough or coached well enough? Absolutely not. Nothing is going well on the football field for the Jets. On the field, off the field, nothing. So it's not like it's Rodgers is the full blame here in the slightest. I just want to make that clear.
This is going to be a rough six weeks coming up here. Jesus Jerry writes in, thoughts on Jim Leonard and Josh McCown as the OC/DC? Well, if Rex Ryan gets the head coaching job, I could very easily see him making Jim Leonard his DC.
So Jim Leonard, I believe, is the defensive coordinator for the Wisconsin?
He's on the Broncos coaching staff now. He was previously at Wisconsin.
I see.
I would love that, by the way.
Yeah, Jim Leonard, great memories from my younger days. I'm sure same for you, Jake. Wisconsin DC for 6 years. I know they've always had a good defense. Then he was the interim head coach. Then I'm seeing he went to Illinois to be an analyst, and then he's the Broncos D-backs coach and pass game coordinator. And the Broncos defense this year has been outstanding. That's pretty interesting. I mean, if they did that, I would not mind it at all.
Yeah, it depends who the head coach is, but Jim Leonard should be on a lot of people's lists. He's an ascending coach. People love Jim Leonard. I knew that as a player. He was the smartest guy on the field when he was a player.
100%. And as for Josh McCown, yeah, okay, he was quarterbacks coach for the Panthers and then quarterbacks coach for the Vikings now. He doesn't have any experience calling plays.
The next step would be as a play caller, though. So it's like, if someone's going to give him a chance to be an OC, he'd be next in line.
Yeah, and I mean, if he wants to adapt from O'Connell's playbook, I'm all for that as well.
Well, if you hire Brian Flores, right, who's on that staff, would he try and say, hey, we're bringing you as the play caller here. You're my guy.
Yeah, so that's interesting to me, and I'm not the best with this type of stuff, but, like, that's why I would look for, like, the Vikings passing game coordinator, because he's involved with, like, the game planning, who I see is Brian and Jello. I have no idea who that is. But you see guys like passing game coordinators, game coordinators. Those guys, I feel like, get offensive coordinator jobs. But, yeah, I guess you're right. The next step for a quarterback's coach also would be that, unless it's like a passing game coordinator / quarterback's coach. I could see it.
If Rex is going to get an interview, which I think he will, you have to ask him what his staff would look like. And those are two names to watch right there, Leonard and McCown, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, Mark Brunell is the quarterback coach of the Lions. Rex Ryan's son, Seth, is a receivers coach on the Lions.
Oh, wow.
I wonder, connecting the dots, if Rex would try and poach someone from that staff. His son would join his staff. So then the question would be, if Seth, let's say, gets a promotion from assistant wide receivers coach to, he's now the Jets wide receivers coach, what happens with the play caller? Could Mark Brunell be ready to make that jump from quarterback coach to OC and run the Ben Johnson offense?
So that's interesting. One, I'm just looking up Seth Ryan's 30 years old, and he's already an assistant wide receivers coach. So he'll be an OC probably somewhere soon. Now I'm curious to look up the Lions coaching staff, because I think that everyone's going to get poached this year. I'm assuming.
Well, if Ben Johnson wants a head coaching job, one of these teams is going to hire him. The question with their other defensive coordinator, or their other big coordinator, Aaron Glenn, is he going to get an opportunity to be a head coach as well as a defensive guy?
Yeah, and you see a guy, their passing game coordinator, I really assume is going to get an OC job next year. He's been their passing game coordinator for 2 years now. So with the way that team plays, I mean, look, you can't get Ben Johnson, but you get Aaron Glenn, and then he brings over Tanner his name's Tanner Engstrand. Why am I well, when Saleh came over, he brought LaFleur, but what was LaFleur's
title? He was the pass game coordinator for the Niners.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, that's why I'm thinking that. Yeah,
and when D'Amico got the Texans job, Bobby Slowick was the pass game coordinator for the Niners, who replaced LaFleur.
Exactly. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, so that makes sense to me. You got to be pretty on point with like looking at who the passing game coordinators are, because again, those are the guys in the game planning room. They know the playbook front and back. They can kind of just adapt it to what they like. And I mean, look what Bobby Slowick did. I could argue that Michael LaFleur was our best OC in the recent past. So it's interesting. Again, like you said about Rex, though, I'm pretty iffy on him as a head coach. Again, you would need to know what his OC and DC are going to be, because there are guys in the NFL that just make it as a head coach, and then their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are elite. I mean, we could think about Dan Campbell, John Harbaugh. There's people, there's teams that are successful with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go through a list of names here. These were submitted by Peter Castro. Let's get your thoughts on the options for the Jets head coach.
Once we get Ulebrick out of here, my coaching choices are Babe Brill first. Then I want a Queensberry. Got to look at Monkey from Baltimore, and maybe Slow Dick in Houston.
Your thoughts?
The only one I understand is Slowick from Houston, but
Texans fans will pay you to take him off their hands.
They're really up in arms with him right now.
Yeah, because he's been bad. He's talking to people down there. He's been bad.
Interesting. I'd take him. I like Bobby Slowick a lot. When I had chances to like look at their film from last year, I was really impressed.
The league's kind of figured them out a little bit, though, and the knock on him is they don't make any adjustments.
Okay, interesting. I also know that their O-line has been extremely beat up and bad this year. Not to put out.
What do you think of Liam Cohen, the Bucs offensive coordinator?
Big fan, McVay guy. I'm obsessed with McVay's tree, so I think Liam Cohen was. Where was he?
He was at Kentucky. He was wasn't he the offensive coordinator in college too?
So he was Kentucky 2021 OC, Rams 2022 OC, Kentucky 2023 OC, and then Bucs 2024 OC.
Yep.
And what they've done with Baker, I mean, I like Baker, but it's just about elevating a team. They've elevated the hell out of that team. Their offense looks really good week in and week out. Every year there's usually some good guys, good potential guys, but I actually think there are a good amount of potential like offensive guys that are going to get poached this year. So I don't think we have like a bad selection at all.
Mike D's Nuts wrote in Bobby Slowdick. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you paying $2 for me to read that one.
What an idiot. Oh, what a loser.
Yeah. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's do a couple calls now. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gusbuster hotline's open. John, you're up first today. Hello, John.
Jake, I'm having a heated argument in this chat room.
I see.
Philly
Noodles. Hey, Philly Noodles, turn on your camera. Let's do this like gentlemen.
Yeah, we need to.
Wow,
what's happening here?
This is a long chat.
What are we arguing? Fill the people in Philly.
He's calling me old. He's saying that I'm 40.
Well, excuse me, I take that back. Well, you look older than me, and I'm older than you. That's sad.
Fair enough.
Okay, what's happening here? I need to know the backstory.
Let him give him the context. Go ahead. You got the call.
No. So we're debating because I'm a firm believer that we have to bring back Rodgers next year, and the alternative is so much worse. And we've lost 5 games this year by 7 points or less, and the coaching has been atrocious. 2 of those games is because we couldn't figure out what the hell's wrong with our kicker. He forgot how to kick. And then 2 of those games, Mike Williams forgot how to catch. So
come on, man.
And look. And the defense has regressed. And here's the thing, Joe Douglas, and this team is not like old teams where we had no talent whatsoever. We have talent. It's Joe Douglas couldn't draft a quarterback. And for someone who was supposed to be an offensive line expert, seemed to always pick the wrong offensive lineman. So we're going to have a top 10 pick. We need to fix the line. We need to fix the edges around the defense, and we run it back with a better coach because we're easily like we have some luck because we're the Jets. We don't get luck, unfortunately. But if we get some luck, this team is totally different. So I think it's too late to bail out on Rodgers, and like I don't even give a shit about the money. Like I get it. We're supposed to be concerned about the cap, but we have viable pieces. And Rodgers is going to be the first QB since Pennington to throw over 20 touchdowns in a season.
It's Patrick, but keep going.
Keep going. The point is that
for what it's worth.
Sorry. But the point is that the alternative is so much worse. I don't think Shedeur, like even if we're able to somehow get Shedeur or Ward or draft a rookie QB and have a bridge, it's not worth it. Like these guys.
So John, you're a Rodgers guy. Philly Noodles. I'm guessing. But
I'm not even a Rodgers guy. I'm not a Rodgers guy. I'm a what's the least amount of risk because we've lost for so long. Like this is the team has pieces.
Okay. So, all right, let's just put it into perspective. We had a little bit of the tiff over here where he's trying to convince me that he wouldn't take Jared Goff right now over Aaron Rodgers, which is crack.
Hold on. John, this is true. You wouldn't take Jared Goff right now.
Are you kidding me?
Look at the Lions. Look at the Lions infrastructure.
All-time career or like right now at this very second?
No, here's the thing. All I'm saying is you put Rodgers on the Lions right now. You have two running backs on the Lions with that offensive line. You have the same result.
But you said Goff was trash in LA. And
no. I said no. I said you said Goff was good, and I said then why did they trade him for Stafford?
Because Stafford is a more polished, ready quarterback for a championship. And if Goff wins a championship, then what is he then? But
he still hasn't won a championship, and Rodgers has.
He did it in like 2008. What are we talking about, bro?
Well, if you're comparing all-time careers, I'm with you, John.
But we're talking about he's talking about Jared Goff in this particular moment, but also comparing it to his total career because we were talking about the Rams days as well. So you can't have it both ways. You have to talk about the career as a total, or you have to talk about it now.
John, I'm with you. There's an argument for Rodgers for next year. I wouldn't do it, but I'm willing to at least see what happens over these next 6. You lose the argument if you're saying that Jared Goff right now is a worse quarterback than age 40, soon to be 41, banged up Aaron Rodgers.
Look, Jared Goff is a better quarterback right now. But I'm also saying that the Lions' infrastructure as a team is significantly better than us.
Of course,
it is.
Of course, and but that doesn't mean that Aaron Rodgers would go to Detroit and be able to have the season that Goff's having right now.
Can I say something?
Who's to say he can't? Like we can't protect him for the life of us.
Let me say something real quick.
Billy, go ahead.
Would he be able to do that? Okay, fine. And Ben Johnson, as a great offensive coordinator, works well. Why? Because he's got someone who he can give a discipline to, who will do what he asks for at a line of scrimmage. Do you understand? Probably half of his 2,200 yards this year are to a 5-yard pass at the line of scrimmage, 2 yards down the road to the line of scrimmage. Aaron Rodgers is changing plays at the pocket. He's discerning the rest of the offensive line by calling out of a check where he can have a back take a block for him so he can go 5 deep and run a slant pass to Devontae Adams towards the out of boundary. Like the guy he's delusional. He wants to run a package of plays that he installed back in the day that worked effortlessly great.
That's where you have a point. That's where I agree with you. Like I
can't bring that back with a new coach and a new GM. I don't want none of that.
But right now we have the most atrocious coaching staff in the NFL. Like I'm surprised that we haven't brought in Jeff Saturday to come coach this team because that would be better than this right now.
That would be terrible. Jeff Saturday is
it would not. Look, this team is so bad. Like, would you not take Jeff Saturday over Nathaniel Hackett right now? Like, come on.
To this point, Jeff Saturday has won the same amount of games that Jeff Ulbrich has as an intern.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you're like the point is that the offense, like it does not look fluid, but the defense is also regressed. but we've lost 5 games this year by less than 7 points. 4 of those are by a field goal. And we're not that far away from at least making the playoffs. And to be honest, we've seen so much losing that I don't see why you don't run it back. I think we're being same old Jets by being like, hey, let's blow it up. Let's try all over. Like, there's no point to do that. There really isn't.
I think they gave Woody gave this guy a lengthy amount of time to figure it out. JD blew up his GM role himself.
You're right. JD needed to go.
He picked up good line pieces, and then he missed on some line pieces. It's going to happen.
He only picked up good line pieces on the defensive side of the ball. Like, he got lucky with ABT. Like, some of these other people, still the jury's out, because the truth is we can't protect Rodgers. You can say someone's good, but if Rodgers is getting sacked like he is, like, I don't want to hear how these guys are.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped.
All right. My thoughts on this, Andrew, then I want you to weigh in. Where I think John also loses the argument is trying to blame the O-line for Rodgers. The O-line in pass protection is graded out like a top 10 unit. I mean, Aaron's had time. You're going over the film. You're going to get hit if you play quarterback. Jared Goff gets hit. He has the best offensive line in the league. Like, that's the nature of the sport. He has had time. We cannot blame the offensive line. We're just always used to just always blaming the O-line as Jet fans, and I get it because the line's been bad for a decade. That's not really the case this year. 4 of your 5 starters I want back next year because they're having decent seasons. You lose me there. He loses me with the Goff stuff. I understand the argument for Rodgers, but I can't justify the future cap ramifications based on how he's played. So that's where I'm at. Your thoughts on that back and forth?
I guess I'll just take one thing. I don't think it's same old Jets to move on from Rodgers. And I know everyone desperately wants to hang on to the fact that we only lost these games because of a missed kick and this, that, and the third. This has not been a good football team. It's not. Just point blank period. If they were freaking 5-6 right now instead of 3-8, because a couple of things went our way, it still wouldn't be a good football team. Would we feel like, hey, maybe we got a shot because Rodgers could get hot down the stretch? 100%. Bottom line, not a good football team, not well coached. And the fact that running it back with Rodgers is just procrastinating the obvious. We got to move on, in my opinion, but I don't know, man.
John did look like Peter Schrager's doppelganger, according to Jesus Jerry.
That's a good take.
This is the darkest your family room has ever been, Andrew.
I know. So what happens is it gets so dark after each, like I come in here, it's bright, and then now with daylight savings or whatever, it's freaking pitch dark outside at 5 o'clock, even 4:30. Crazy.
Christopher says, no more first-year head coaches. I tend to agree unless I'm getting Ben Johnson. Like, I really do value the experience route this go-around.
No more first-year head coaches, but, like, okay, then our options are what? Vrabel,
Flores.
Belichick's not coming here, and Flores. Yeah.
Here are the most experienced coaches that could be available. Mike Vrabel, Brian Flores, Cliff Kingsbury, maybe Kevin Stefanski. He'd be my number one guy if the Browns were to fire him. Rex Ryan, John Gruden. People won't like this, but Matt Nagy. I'm just trying to give you names of guys that have been head coaches that might get interviews.
Yeah. Okay. I think Gruden's hilarious. I mean, I don't know. The content he puts out is mad funny, but
he's a culture changer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Dude, he's the best. Like, I can't get enough of him. I watch all his stuff. He's so good. I'm seeing Philly Noodles. Jake, could you ask Fialkow real quick about Dylan Gabriel? I didn't get to ask about it as a Penix type QB sit a year or can come in at age 24. I don't know. I'm not so high on Dylan Gabriel. I have not watched any of his film, to be honest. I don't know. By the way, if you want my bold take about what I would like, I want the entire Oregon staff offensively. No, actually not entire. I want Dan Lanning as head coach, and I want Will Stein as offensive coordinator. Because I've actually been able to watch a couple of their, like, there's this thing called Coach Tube. So it's them going over schematics and plays. And I love Dan Lanning from the jump. His come up is incredible. And Will Stein is like an up and coming guy. He will be in the NFL if he wants to in a couple of years. If the Jets were wanted to consult me, I would be giving Dan Lanning an interview 100%. I don't know if he wants to leave college, but I'm a huge Dan Lanning guy.
38 years old, Dan Lanning.
Yeah. He has a good story too, man. He's came up like anyone really, but like grad assistant at a small school, long way up. I think he was I was just looking at this earlier. Where was he? He was at a high school his first 2 years as a coach, and then obviously was the defensive coordinator under Kirby Smart, and then now he's head coaching Oregon, which obviously record in college is whatever, but he's 33-5 as a head coach. Those kids love him. Talk about a culture change. I don't know. That's my like bold take. I would love. Now I'm reading the chat. Someone said no first time head coaches, and I said I want the entire Oregon coaching staff. I take it. I don't want the entire staff. I like their OC and I like Dan Lanning. I understand people that don't want first time head coaches though. That's just my bold take.
I just don't want the Jets to hire a college coach that's never done it in the NFL.
That's completely fair. I understand that to the farthest extent. I would love to give him an interview. I don't know if they will, but
I don't know if he wants the job.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could argue being the coach of Oregon's a better job than being an NFL head coach right now.
Yeah. I thought I saw there were some rumblings about him either getting interviews or wanting interviews with the NFL. This was a couple of weeks ago. I guess Jeremy Fowler put out a report November 13th that he was generating buzz in NFL coaching circles. Yeah. I don't know.
Generating buzz. You know how that works. His agent goes to Jeremy Fowler. Hey, put this out there so my guy can get a raise.
Exactly. Except I think he's on a huge contract with Oregon, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but Oregon's about to be maybe the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. So they want more money. Because you know who gets more money? The agent gets more money too. That's how that works.
Yep.
You got to really understand the business inside the business, like that athletic story. Like, where are these sources? Disgruntled employees who've been fired, probably their agents talking on their behalf. Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, etc.
Yeah.
You know, Steven says, "Are super chats working? Mine isn't." We've had a couple that have worked, Steven, so it might be a you problem. But I appreciate you trying to support the show. And do you have time for a couple more calls?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. On the Gusbuster hotline right now is this guy.
Well, you know I can't wear my freaking hat. It's hot, my balls will sweat. Oh, look, I have a fan. I'm Bobby.
I wish I was sweating my balls off today. It's so cold out.
What a start to this call.
Jake, well, you played it, so I had to answer it. Jake, it was my idea to do that this morning. Okay?
I enjoyed it. It caught the audience off guard.
Yeah, they thought it was hilarious. Did you know what I did to Robbie Sable this morning?
Nah. What did you do?
I told him some famous person told me to less is more. So he said goodbye and I left.
You called in and then said goodbye.
Wow.
And then Jake said, "Wow, that's all." So no, I think Rodgers is lying. I think he is definitely hurt. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't like to be benched. But I think they gotta start Tyrod Taylor. I don't give a crap at this moment in time because they should have started him at the Minnesota game when he went backwards. He was injured then.
Yeah, but
right?
At this point, Bobby, you want to see what Aaron
no,
looks
I'm
like
not
post-bye
talking about
week.
at this point, the Minnesota game. That's where I said.
I know it's too late though. The Minnesota game happened 2 months ago.
Yeah, but that's when they should have started. If I was a head coach, I would have benched him and put him in. That's my.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would have. Do you agree with me, Andrew?
I don't know. Maybe to sit him down for a couple of games, let him get healthy.
Yeah,
sure.
a couple of days, not a couple of games. Yeah, and then let him rest. He's almost 41. So give the guy a break. Andrew, you're right.
Andrew. Be gone.
I busted
What did you do to him?
I didn't do nothing. It's your channel, not mine.
What did you do? Why'd you mess with his internet?
I did not mess with his internet. Yeah. So yeah, you're doing good, Jake. You thought it was really funny what I did?
I think you killed Andrew.
I didn't kill Andrew. I didn't do anything to Andrew.
Well, his internet was working just fine. Then you come on the show, and now he got knocked out of the show.
Not my fault. It's your internet, because Ricky always comes on your channel and he goes away. And also your friend, Lane the Train, he comes on my show and nothing happens there. So
All right, now tell us what you did to Andrew.
I didn't do nothing. Stop. You probably did it.
No, what happened? Just tell us what really happened.
I didn't do nothing. I'm talking. That's all I'm doing. Jake, you're becoming a pot stirrer right now. You know
No, I'm not a pot stirrer.
Yes, you are.
No, that's Ted.
No, and you.
No, I don't stir the pot.
Yeah, you were on my show next, Gary.
Yeah, I asked Gary a simple question. If he just answered it, we would have moved on. But
Yeah,
he couldn't
but you
answer a
could
question.
just
What's
not do it on
healthier? No. I think he can answer a simple question. Is eating a Caesar salad better for your health than smoking a cigarette? He didn't answer the question.
I take Caesar salad. Definitely.
See? I mean, you answered the question. Then
I
move
heard
on.
you. Do you really go on Gary's show yesterday?
I did, yes. I was in the comment section.
Yeah, somebody said you were trolling them. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
I do that too. I wouldn't ever go to the one in Syracuse anymore. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going on that. After he goes, I call in, not Fridays. Are we having our bud tomorrow or no? Not this week.
Are we what?
Are we having our buddy tomorrow? It's Wednesday.
It's a mystery.
No, he probably has Thanksgiving plans. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I hope he comes on.
He'll join us on Friday.
Oh, Friday. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. All right, now can you get Andrew back on the show? I don't like how you kicked him off.
I didn't kick him off.
How'd you ruin his internet? Tell us what happened.
I don't know. Remember when my internet went down?
I remember.
There was like a fire next to the bar. It's an old bar, and then it was burning down. And
All right, I have an idea. I'm going to try an old magic trick. If you put out your hand like this and go, bring Andrew back, and you make like a wave motion with your hands.
He's already in the back.
If you go like this, bring Andrew back.
Bring Andrew back. Bring Andrew back.
Louder, son.
Bring.
Louder. There he is.
What did you just call me? Son?
That's funny. Oh, man.
Don't
Welcome
call me
back,
son,
Andrew.
little boy.
Why? You call people boy. I called you son.
You're not my. Don't call me. I could be old enough to be your daddy. Andrew, what happened to your internet? I didn't do anything to you.
I don't know what my computer just shut down. No reason.
Oh, see, it happens. And he
Little
blamed
boy?
it on me. I'm a little boy. I was growing up in the Bronx. I was a little boy. Andrew, you look much better in the light now. It gets so dark at 4:45. It sucks. But we got to pray for December 21st. You know why? Let's see if you guys know.
They're pushing the clocks back.
No.
Forward.
It's one day of the year that comes, and it's the shortest day of the year.
Ah.
The 21st. Yeah.
All right.
Then each day gets longer, and then like you find it in March when it gets split.
Yeah.
I got the sports schedule. That's how I go through the winter. So we got 6 more games left, he said. Then we got playoffs. Then we got the Super Bowl. Then
really, I had no idea.
Then we got the Daytona 500. Then we have spring training. That's how I go.
Thank you. Question for you.
Yeah. Ooh.
Gator says your bathrobe used to be white. Is that true?
Gator, are you smoking some Florida Kush or what? It's blue.
I do. I thought I remember the white bathrobe.
I never wore white bathroom. I wore blue. Well, I'm a blue person.
Mo wants to know what you're doing Thanksgiving Eve.
Why, you gonna invite me over for dinner?
That's a big assumption you just made.
I didn't even know most sports talk. Wait, what'd you come in and ask me that question? Come on in.
Why are you taking offense to this question?
I don't even know most sports talk. Why would I answer the guy?
Okay, well, maybe he'll become a friend. Why do you have to be so hostile?
I don't know. How do I, Mo Sports? I'm going over to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but this is Thanksgiving Eve. That's tomorrow.
Eve, I don't know. I'm gonna get ready. I usually cook this stuff. No, I don't cook it. But you ever hear Waldorf salad?
I think so.
It's apple and celery and mayonnaise. You could throw walnuts in there, but I love that. Okay, is that enough for you, Mo Sports Talk? No,
You're very hostile, Bobby. You don't need to be.
No, I don't know the guy. I'm very happy until he asked me that question. What are you doing on
You ask everyone questions. You can't ask what you're doing Thanksgiving Eve. That doesn't seem fair.
No, that's a crazy question. So
I don't think
you
it's that
I'm
crazy.
Andrew, you think I'm crazy?
No.
Okay, what are you doing Thanksgiving yet? Going
Oh, hold on a second. You can ask Andrew that question, but most sports talk can't
because
ask you that.
I know Andrew. I know him very well.
Mm-hmm.
What you say? What am I doing tomorrow night?
No, Thanksgiving night. You going to stay at your parents?
Thanksgiving night or Thanksgiving?
You gotta have Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, yeah, with my family. Yes.
And I gotta tell you, one worse team than the Jets are the Giants. So don't say the Jets are the worst. Giants suck big. You know what? Because they got to get their butts beat on. Gets the Dallas Cowboys and gets the Eagles, because guess who's running all over them on when the Eagles play the Giants? Take a guess.
Saquon.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and they got rid of Daniel Jones. They're stupid. I would have, if I was the general manager, I would have kept Barkley and shipped Daniel Jones off. He stinks.
Cactus Johnny says no one gives a bleep about the Giants, Bobby.
Well, I'm just. Jake brings up the Giants too, so don't worry about it, Cactus Jack. I like you too, but you're a nice guy, Cactus Jack. Okay.
Wait a second. Cactus Johnny goes at you, and you have no problem with it. But most sports talk asks what you're doing for Thanksgiving Eve, and you flip out.
Jack in the chat. I don't know most sports talk from anywhere.
Most sports talk said you're his hero.
He did not.
He did. Look, it's on the screen.
Okay, you got to come to my channel later.
Wait a second. Now you're inviting him to your channel?
Well, he says he's my hero. Hey, Andrew, when are you coming to my channel? You got to show up.
All right, here we go.
I know. I will.
Are you busy after the show?
If I'm driving, can I hop on?
Yeah, you could drive. Which Jay Quest comes on, Craig in the morning comes on, Sarah driving, Mr. Bonesy driving.
All right, I'll
Nick Shines. Yeah.
I'll hop on for like 10
Where do
minutes.
you have to go? You got to go to school?
School doesn't, not this late at night.
Well, you're college. You're a college kid, right?
I'm in graduate school, yeah.
Oh, what college is that?
Fordham.
Oh, Fordham. That's in the Bronx.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I go to the one in New York City, like.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, my parents used to live near Fordham.
Oh, nice.
All right, Jake, you have more people back there, right?
I do. One of them was very upset. I chose you over him.
Who's that? I'll leave now and then let him talk.
You'll see who it is, all right?
Is that Mr. Bonesy?
It is not.
Is it Nick Shine?
It is not.
Is it Gary?
Well, you know that Owl's a lion crap of crap. You should check out my new hat. The Jets are freaking awesome. Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, the person who was very upset that I went to Bobby there instead of him was this guy.
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children.
Yeah, I was devastated. Unbelievable.
I saw that look of disgust that I
God. I'm excited to finally speak to Andrew. Andrew, I can't wait for you to evaluate Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph tapes. I can't wait for that. Couple of comments. I agree with your take on Dan Lanning. I think he would make a fantastic pro coach. My OC that I love is actually coming to the Meadowlands this week. I love Ryan Grubb, the OC out of Seattle. I loved him last year at Washington. My comment is about what John said when he was talking with Philly Noodles. From John to Bonesy to Neil to Rob the Jet fan, why delay the inevitable? I mean, he's done. I don't understand why you want to even bring him back. He's old. Sorry, these guys are actually thinking you're getting the old Rodgers, and you're just not. Unfortunately, I don't understand why you think bringing back Rodgers, knowing the cap hits in 26 and 27 would make any sense. I understand people are worried that the management is not going to bring in a guy next year. Again, I agree with Andrew. I think next year is a retooling. I don't know who their quarterback is going to be next year. I'd rather have competent management who's going to bring in a real quarterback. Maybe they play Tyrod for half the season and let a kid sit for half the year, and maybe play a Drew Aller or a Jackson Dart the other half of the year. That's what I would do. I don't understand the idea of bringing Aaron Rodgers back, especially if you listen to him today. He's just non-committal at all about next year. He's not even thinking about next year. He's thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to come back. So he's basically goading the Jets into cutting him. And if I were the Jets, I wouldn't play him another snap at all. I don't think
what he's doing. He came here to play for a regime that's all gone. So he basically left it open-ended.
So if the regime is gone, he needs to follow him. It's over.
That's probably what's going to end up happening. The only pushback is, what if he looks good these final 6 weeks? Can we at least just see what he looks like down the stretch here?
I don't see any difference. The guy can't move.
Right. You don't. But what if he got healthy? That's the only caveat. If it's more of the same, I think most people would agree with you, besides the Johns and Bonesies and Neils of the world. But let's see what it looks like.
I just don't see much of a hope. Again, I don't think there's a chance he comes back next year.
Do you love the sound of your own farts? Gator says you do. Would you like to
I do. Absolutely. My wife actually loves it as well. Thank you, Gator. I appreciate it.
Well done, Alan.
Okay, but Andrew, I appreciate your takes, and I know you will spend Thursday afternoon watching the Lions as they go to 11-1. I know you will. That's a real football team. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Alan, thank you. I give him credit. That was a witty response. Very good.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Andrew, I took up an hour and 15 minutes of your time. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. If you're on hold, I'll get to the rest of the calls here. But Andrew, thanks for hopping on. Have a great Thanksgiving with the Fialkow family. We love the Fialkows. Got to meet them at the home opener, which was awesome. So hope you have a great time, man.
Yep. You as well, to you and your family, everyone in the chat too. Appreciate you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Fialkow joining us. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats, they'll cut the line. I'll get to more of your calls right now. Appreciate everyone supporting the show, but I do want to acknowledge a couple gifted memberships that came through. We got 2, one from Mother Effin' Chew, one from Chris J. And look, when we get memberships on this show, we shout you out. Thank you to both of you guys for gifting. Bang! Bang! Give you a Mike Breen double bang for the 2 memberships. Let's see who got them. If you hear your name called, you're a channel member. Kelvin Joseph and Norm Go Jet Yourself. Our 2 most recent channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Steven wrote in, Chad Pennington, high school coach, last 6 years. We love him. I mean, if Chad wanted to get into coaching, I'm in. Maybe he's waiting till his youngest son, who's the quarterback at the school he coaches, goes to college. Maybe. Love Chad. One of the smartest players that's ever played for this team. So if you ever wanted to have some sort of coaching role, the Jets should consider that. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this guy's take on the state of affairs.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to this republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, V-Man.
Hey, Jake, what's up?
V-Man, there's something we have to address right away.
What?
Were you recently at a Walmart?
Why?
Because there's someone on the line right now that apparently ran into you. Mr. Bonesy, take it away.
Yes! V-Man, I've been waiting to talk to you, buddy.
Why? Where did you
listen?
read it?
So V-Man, last week, I'm at Walmart, and I'm online checking out, and I got like a new phone case, and it doesn't have my credit card in it. So I forgot my credit card in the car. I have all my groceries on the thing, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta run to the car. I got all 3 kids with me. So I'm going out of Walmart's exit, and I leave, and I look, I turn around, and I see you checking out at the thing, and I'm like, V-Man! V-Man! I'm going crazy.
When was this? When was this?
This was on Wednesday last week. Please tell me you were at Walmart in Fishkill.
Yeah, I was in Walmart at Fishkill.
Yes!
I was in Walmart.
Joe, come here. My brother was like, bro, you're blind. That was not V-Man. I was like, dude, man.
I was in the Super Walmart at Fishkill. I was going up there. My mother was going up there to return some shopping items, so we just stopped by in that Walmart.
Hell yeah. See, now I knew that was you. I came back in after I went to the car and you were already gone. So I was like, oh no, I couldn't even come give you a hug, but you were quick in there. I caught you at the register, like all the way in the right of the store by like produce. You were like at that checkout area. That's where I like walked out of the door and then saw you turned around. I was screaming for you, but I figured I'd catch you on the way back in. But you were gone like lightning.
Yeah.
You were gone like Salah and JD. You know what? That just made my day. Jake, I don't even have to speak, man. The fact that I saw V-Man, that made it all better. So.
Hey, Dave, you get back on, or are we just gonna be doing cooking with V-Man here? All right. I guess you'll want to see what I'm actually doing because I have a kitchen knife in my hand. Hold on, my hand's just covered in. Jennergy, if you're in the chat, you know what I'm making here. Or if anyone who's Puerto Rican in the chat, or Dominican, or Cuban, you know what I'm making right now. You know what I'm preparing right now. Gonna put that down. Jake, does anyone name drop the food I'm making? No. Nope. This is. I gotta see if anyone's actually name dropped it yet. Oh yes, Philly noodles, you got it. That's it, baby. Yep. My grandfather does not eat turkey, so I gotta make this. It's a. I haven't got to the garlic paste yet. Right now, I'm just poking holes in it for the seasoning. No, Jay, can you just come back on? We can actually talk football. This is just getting weird. This is just getting awkward. This is getting really awkward. You're gonna come. Are you guys gonna come back on, Jay? Can we actually talk football? Like. God, this is just like I don't even know what's going on anymore with this. We're so fucking depressed from Jets football that this is gonna be the highlight of the video. I'm not cooking it. I'm just seasoning it. It's gotta sit in the. It's gotta marinate for a couple for the day. It's like shit. Where's It's like this is just getting ridiculous. If you're not gonna talk, just do me the solid of just ending this. This is just getting bad. So if you're asking what seasoning, so you got cumin, you get your salt, Sazon. Oregano, if I can remember where it is on this damn spice rack. Oh yeah, hey, your oregano. I don't have the ingredients yet. I'm making the pork shoulder. That I gotta season this first, and I actually have to season this. Like the fact that this is going on is just fucking ridiculous. Oh, and I gotta get where the hell is it? Where the hell is this shit? I'm around about this burrito. Oh God! Don't tell me she forgot that. There it is. Almost forgot. Yeah, can't make anyone else a frito. So if I remember correctly, because I don't remember this off the top of my head. It's like this is just.
Really
Yeah, now I
pals
just
around with him yet. Oh, Bobby, look, we're now live with V-Man again. Guys, this is Bobby on the phone, just so everybody knows. Oh, look, V-Man, that looks delicious, man. What you got, like a human brain right there?
It's a pork shoulder. I'm making
Oh, pork shoulder.
my grandfather doesn't eat turkey for Thanksgiving, so I make this instead.
Oh, man, that looks good, V-Man. Yeah, we're back on, Bobby. We're live.
This is good. Well, let me just turn this darn thing.
V-Man, did you get any of these products at that Walmart visit?
No, I did not. My mother got these somewhere else. It's very hard to find a good pork shoulder this size, unless you're going to the right market. This is just getting.
He's making pork shoulder, Bob. Bobby just wants to confirm, guys. Tomorrow night he's just chilling on Thanksgiving Eve. He's just getting ready for Thanksgiving. For anyone who wanted to know.
This is just. Mm-hmm. So yeah, now you go. Then I gotta add. It's embarrassing. Add about. Now I gotta marinate it in. Add some apple cider vinegar. I am. The Jake is just basically having me do cooking with V-Man now. Yes. He just has me on camera for this. I think he's gonna just keep me on camera until I'm done seasoning. I have no choice but to do this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you guys actually gonna want to see this, I guess. So yeah, I have the apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna just coat in apple cider vinegar. And then the second one, as you can see, I made all the incisions. Just gonna fill this up again because I'm just being hell here. This is bizarro. And then we're just gonna, yeah. There we go. I got that done. You don't know these? And we're just gonna make sure that is coated in season. And as you can see, we make sure it's properly coated in seasoning.
Are you sure he's there?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I know. Right. I'm gonna drain this. Just
I am.
I can't help it. He's gonna hold me hostage. You can see on the camera. We're gonna drain. Oh, yep, we're gonna drain it. Okay, so there we go. No. Oh yeah, we're going. So now we got it we soaked it in apple cider vinegar, so now we just got seasoning. Okay, so we're gonna do about 3 tablespoons of salt and spread it evenly across the pork shoulder. Yeah, I know. So now we're gonna add, so we got 1 tablespoon down. We're gonna do another tablespoon. Oh yeah. Yeah. I have no idea what this is.
Hi, V-Man.
Hi.
I miss you, V-Man. Are you coming to the game December 1st?
I don't know if we make any more games.
Oh, come on. Just see Addison's birthday December 1st. Come on down. The tickets going to be so cheap. Come on.
I'll see. I'll take a look.
If I meet you, I go crazy. If I meet you, I go crazy. You're a good cook. Can I see V-Mom too? I never met her. Can I say hi to her?
He wants to see you.
V-Man. How you doing? How you doing, V-Mom? This is Bobby. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
You're a nice lady, and your son is great. I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm happy. I like your dogs too, Lucy and Linus, right?
I love my dog. Thank you.
Yeah, I love cats. I have a cat.
Okay.
You know what? Now
I had a bunch of cats at one point in life, but then I turned out to be like a dog person.
Right. What?
But I do like the cats too.
You know what movie Nala's from? You know
what?
Movie?
Yes. What movie is that from? Nala?
It's a Disney
Lion
movie.
Lion King.
There you go. There you go. Are you originally from upstate or are you from New York, the Bronx?
I'm from the Bronx. I'm a Bronx girl.
Yeah, me too, baby. Yeah, the Bronx. I lived at 233rd Street.
Where?
233rd Street and Pittman Avenue.
I used to work on 225th and White Plains Road.
Oh, I know where that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know where White Plains Road is. You're a nice lady, Mrs. B-Man.
Thank Thank you. Thank you.
How's Grandpa doing? Good.
He's good. He was sleepy today, so it was a
Oh
short
well, you know, it was crappy. It was a rainy day today. You know.
I wish I could take a nap.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, how old is he? Like 80?
87 or 88.
Wow, he's up there, but he's so good. He's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Isn't your son a good cook?
He is. When he does, yeah.
But
I like that.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't like
I love
No,
him
it's
too.
not like the cook. I started cooking as a way to connect with my roots.
Oh, really good.
He's
Yeah, I
very
know.
good at it.
They got
He's
good.
good at
They got good food in your culture. I like it.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah.
that for Thanksgiving or what?
Yeah. This is a pork shoulder for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh, you don't do a turkey?
My grandfather's not a turkey person, so.
Oh, I see. No turkey for Grandpa.
No,
Oh,
well, most people in the Caribbean aren't turkey people. Turkey's not a very popular meat in the
oh, I
Caribbean.
didn't know
so
that. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Gary's in the back.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know what happened to those cats. They got killed by a cow.
Stop that. Oh my God, no. No, don't say that.
I have no idea what's going on, Gary. So don't look at me.
What show is this?
I have no idea anymore. Jake is holding me hostage until I finish seasoning this pork shoulder.
Move over, Julia, child.
This is just like I have no idea. All right, let's get. Here we got. So we already had. So we're gonna add a tablespoon of oregano. Yeah, this is gonna be. Yeah. Gary, he's holding me hostage until I finish seasoning this pork shoulder. Oh my God, he finally took me off the air. Like, I don't even know what he's doing anymore. This is too. I got no fucking. I have no idea what's going on. This is just too fucking bad shit for me. I like. Listen, this is weird. I don't know. So now we're adding 2 packets of Goya Sazon. Sazon con azafran, not to be confused with other Sazon. Actually, my grandfather's more of a Maduro guy. He's more of the Maduro. He likes Maduros over Topones, so I'll probably end up doing Maduros. Yeah, I have no idea. It's like, why? Dude, why is it?
Just like that. Okay, and now, so you want to make sure that you seasoning. Okay. So we're going to take half of this, the garlic, I put it into the processor and chop it up. So
Like Gary just being clueless. Now I'm adding a cup of minced garlic. I don't. No, it's like I'm stuck. But there we go. Nope. Unfortunately. So we got the garlic on last, but certainly not least, and we can finally end this nightmare. So Where the hell? Last thing we're gonna is 3 tablespoons of sofrito. Yeah. And that's literally the
Excuse me.
all right, that's it. That's it. We added our sofrito and our pork shoulder season. I'll just have to sit and marinate for a couple days. It'll be ready to cook. So that's it. I'm done, Jake. I'm gonna.
B-Man! Yeah! Bravo!
You
What a
really
performance. That was
you
one of the
really
best we've
just-
ever seen.
You really
Yeah.
just sat there and watched me season a pork shoulder.
I'll tell you what, it was more interesting than this Jets season has been.
Like, you really did do that.
That was tremendous. V-Man, you brought it. The chat loved it. I mean, that's everything anyone could have hoped for and more. Bravo. That was remarkable.
Yeah, I know what you're saying though.
That was tremendous. I mean, people got a little Thanksgiving taste of what it's like to be V-Man. Gary got to be Gary. I mean, what more can you ask for on a show where the Jets are 3-8?
I know what you guys were to be able to eat this.
There you go.
I'll tell you what, it did look tasty.
Well, I mean, obviously once it's cooked and everything.
I want you to know the viewership went up during that. That's where we're at with the Jets.
People would rather watch me season a pork shoulder.
At
than
one point,
actually-
there were over 900 people watching you cook. I just want you to know that.
Wow. That's gonna be one to remember. Now I just gotta get the yellow out of the sazon out of my hand. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah. Now I don't make the list for the monthly Asmaniac Power Rankings, but I'd imagine that call will slot you very high.
Yeah. I mean, I just gotta know. Like, I want to just hear Gary's like what was his reaction? I don't know what Gary's reaction was. Just like coming on and just seeing me just in the kitchen, like
Best Jet show ever, says Uno.
it's like can we get Gary? Can we actually get Gary to give a response on what he thought about all of this shenanigans, or did he leave the camera?
You want a response from Gary, do you? Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring on the Caesar Salad King.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
Like what did you think of that, Gary?
I thought you were cooking it up. I thought you did, I thought you did your thing.
I agree.
Like, were you just like randomly
man. Well done.
what was your initial reaction to just seeing me just like in the kitchen and then me pointing down to the pork shoulder and shit?
I like pork. It looked pretty good to me. I thought you did a good job cooking it up.
Yeah, no, they got an entire like in Puerto Rico, they got an entire highway full of nothing but chains of like, and then all they do is like restaurants where they just make spit roast pork. They call it pork highway, or in Spanish it'd be La Ruta del Lechon. And from what I've heard, because I've never been able to go to that section of Puerto Rico, it's amazing. Like it's like the skin is just like so crisp and just full of flavor. It's like if you ever down in Puerto Rico, you have to hit up La Ruta del Lechon.
Excellent job, V-Man. All right. You crushed it.
All right.
V-Man is here. How we feeling?
High as a kite.
Oh, Jake, I got two lovely ladies who'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. You want me to go grab them?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
All right. Hang on 1 minute. I know you're going to go to me.
Well, we'll come back to you. He called in. You didn't know I was going to go to him? That's usually how this works. Anyway, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet after that, I don't know, Ted. By the way, I saw all the super chats. I tried to bring them up on the screen for V-Man to respond to. This one made me legit fall off my chair. From Memphis Stewart. I just wanted to shout out Jesus Jerry because I thought that was funny. Nick said I didn't have any plans. I actually do have plans, but I delayed them because I was having so much fun. Anyway, let's get to the Thanksgiving message here that Gary was teasing. Hello, Gary. Who's your special guest? Whoa! You got to unmute the mic for Decker, Gary. She's muted. Unmute her. Oh, no way. Wait, Gary, the mic's muted. Still muted.
Oh,
there we go.
You're good. Here, just hold on. I'll fix it.
Oh my god.
It's one of those. It's like
Hello.
Decker.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
How's everything?
Amazing.
Yeah, things are going well.
Yeah. It's getting fun.
Who's your friend there?
Morgan.
Who?
Morgan.
Morgan?
Yeah.
That's Morgan the famous nanny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna say hi?
Oh yeah, sure.
Hello, Morgan. How are you?
Hi. Oh, I think it's hello.
How are you, Morgan? How's it going?
Oh, good. Oh, that's why it's like flipped. I was like, I can't hear anything. I'm good. How are you?
You doing well? How was I forget what year in school you are, but how was the semester?
It was good. It was good. I'm a sophomore.
Very nice.
Still.
Don't forget to congratulate her on the win. They beat
Right.
That's right. Congrats to the Sooners. Big win over Bama.
Of course. Good day. Sooner magic is real. 100%.
There you go. Love that.
Yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on the return of having to be the nanny to Decker and be a part of the Gary fam here?
Of course. I'm happy. It's always a rewarding nanny position. Always.
Love that. Love that.
Yes.
Well, welcome
Yes.
back. You were a big hit over the summer when you called in, so it's great to get you back
Oh.
on the show.
Thanks. Thank you.
Keep up the great work.
Thanks. Here you go.
Thanks, Morgan.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, bye.
Yeah. Great job, Decker. Our favorite member of the Gary family.
This is everyone's favorite, Jacob.
She's wonderful.
She's not bad. I raised her.
All right, Gary. Anything else on your mind here? It's been a long show for me.
No. It's
No.
good talking to you, Jake. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, Gary. Also, clearly the chat missed Morgan, so that's a great surprise.
Yeah, she's just a little more casual. It wasn't the summer. I know you guys liked it better in the summer.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me either. I have no idea. Thank you, Oscar. Thank you. Oscar the Grouch in the chat is a good dude.
Decker is so sweet. We love Decker. How's her Jake Asman show teddy bear? Does she still use it?
She has it. Yeah, she has it. She has like a mountain of teddy bears and it sits on top.
Love that. There we go. All right, Gary. Well, you have a great evening, all right? Congrats
too,
to your
Jake.
Nets. Big win yesterday.
I don't even know what to make of it. Is it good or is it bad? I'm happy, but like
You have a coach?
all-
I think it's good.
good. But we're not gonna get Cooper erased if this keeps up.
You'll be all right.
All right, Jake. Oh, congratulations to your Knicks. That's a hell of a win. They scored like 150. That was
OG
ridiculous.
with 40 last night.
OG
Yeah,
with
crazy.
40. There you go. All right. Have a good Thanksgiving, man.
You too, Gary. Thanks for the time as always.
Joe Douglas should have been fired 2 days before he was hired.
All right, Craig in Australia up next. Hello, Craig.
Hey, mate. How you going?
Oh, Craig, I'm doing great. What a show.
Just when I think this show could not get more interesting and reach a new level, it does. And I have to congratulate you and the callers. I am at this moment questioning my own sanity, whether this is actually happening. But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't suppose it really matters, right? At
This
point.
show is happening, or the Jets being 3-8 happening? Both feel
I was
like
just-
dreams or
I was just
nightmares.
I was just going to say everything to do with this show. So that includes where our mutual friends are at the moment, and I don't know where that is. So do you have a Thanksgiving plans in my town? What's going on?
Yeah, big plans. Going back to Long Island, so I won't even be in your. Have you been to
Nice.
Long Island? I don't think you've been to Long Island when you visited.
No, I mean, I think I've been as far as somewhere in Brooklyn. I can't remember. But when we come back in September with the kids, we're going to get a car for the day, and we're going to drive out to Long Island. That's the plan.
I love it. I love it.
So I'll be taking suggestions from everyone where we should go, what we should do. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good. Sadly, though, won't be back in NY until April, end of April, something like that. So we'll have to set up a meetup at the Yankee Stadium.
That's gonna fly by, though. That will be here before you know it.
It will. It'll be good, and we'll be coming via Vegas. So I might get you to link me up with your mates at Circa.
Oh, let's go. Let's get Craig at Stadium Swim. Let's get him. Let's get him a VIP spot in the sports book. You let me know when you're going out there, and we'll make that happen for you.
I think it has to be done. So we're going to fly into LA and drive to Vegas for a bit of an adventure. So I'll have a car while I'm there. So I've got to go shooting. Probably going to hire an airplane and fly over Hoover Dam and stuff like that. And I might even do some work, given that I'm there for a conference.
I love that. I love that.
Stranger things. But you got plans tonight?
I do. So you're one of the final calls here.
Oh, very good.
I know. Big plans.
You know the arrangement. If you need suggestions on where to go in Midtown, you just got to ask me.
You're the guy. No one knows Midtown Manhattan better than Craig from Australia.
I think more accurately, no one loves Midtown as much as Nate can't believe he's like Midtown. You got to be kidding me. I don't know what to tell you. It's the busiest area. I like being in the action.
I love that. I love that.
That's just how it is. So you better get on with your plans, mate. Good to talk. All right. Take care.
Craig, you're the man. Appreciate you. Everyone hit the Craig emoji in the chat. All right, let me rapid fire through a couple people who have been on hold here. Raven's up next. What's up, Raven?
Not much. How are you, Jake?
Raven, I'm hanging in. I'm better after watching B-Man's epic cooking performance.
That was a great tutorial. I might have to show that to my mom for our Thanksgiving.
I mean, B-Man might be an innovator the way he went about it. You're not wrong.
He really might. I felt like he was very innovative. I felt it.
I felt it too. I'm glad you felt it. I know I was not wrong with my feeling now.
Yeah, you're never wrong, Jake, about that.
Thank you. Do you actually have a football point, or you were calling to talk about B-Man's triumphant cooking?
No, I did have a football point. I wanted to, talk more maybe about the 33 Ventures thing. Now that we're seeing, it looks like Tannenbaum's actually going to be spearheading this effort, where Spielman's kind of going to be doing more of like the advising and the grunt work. And I don't know how I feel about that, given Tannenbaum's record as a GM. I know I called into the show and I said I like that he had a degree of familiarity with the organization, and I do. I still like that, but I don't know. I'm
going to do a whole video on it tomorrow. Did you see Spielman on that podcast he does talking about what his role is going to be? I don't know if you saw the
I know. I didn't see the whole thing yet, but I was just referencing some quotes that I saw floating around the Twitterverse.
Yeah, Will tweeted out a good excerpt from it, Will Parkinson. So I mean, but basically, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Spielman's doing. He's like, I'm doing what I did last year for the Commanders, but with Mike Tannenbaum this time. It's the two of them together. It's not like it's Tannenbaum's company, so it's him. Like Tannenbaum asked Spielman to join it, but I think part of the selling point of having Tannenbaum involved was, hey, Woody, we're going to get you the guy who did this with the Commanders last year. So they're basically working hand in hand, is my understanding after hearing him explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, and to that point, look at the Commanders. Look how they have turned things around. So that certainly gives me more confidence, especially, and I'm not trying to like shit on the Commanders roster. I feel like we still have more raw talent.
I watched the Jets in person this summer kick the crap out of the Commanders in a joint practice. So yeah, like the Jets have more talent than Washington, but you need coaching, and we don't have that.
Yeah, exactly. And I honestly think that's what, there are so many things, but if like you want to be one of those people to make a very like causal statement as to what went wrong, and you only want to blame one thing, it was the coaching, because I found myself at every game being like, how is it possible that a team with so much talent is playing this way? Like, it just completely confounded logic for me.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what makes our situation appealing to prospective GMs and head coaches. I know, like, that's the big discourse is like, why would anybody want to come here? Like, look at this, look at that. But I think, like, if you have the right guy, like, honestly, like a Dan Campbell type who's like, I want to, like, take this franchise, like, out of the ruins of just shittiness and change the culture that way. Like, you have yourself a good guy, because that's what Saleh wanted to do. He was that type of guy. I just don't think he's a head coach. I just don't think he has the know-how or the skill set, and that's not a bad thing. But like, he's somebody who went in with those intentions, and despite everything, the guys still played for him.
I agree. He didn't win enough, and I guess we'll never know what could have been if he still had the job. But based on how they were 2-3 when he was fired, I mean, I don't know. I think it's clear this team needs a real coaching staff, and you got to hope they get it right. Otherwise, they got real problems.
Yeah, and definitely. I also don't think we should move on from Aaron. I just don't. Part of me wonders if some of the sloppiness we're seeing is shit we would have seen had we had him for that season last year. So,
but now he's a year older next year, and there's look, if it was up to me, my dream scenario is he makes it easy to decide. Like, he's either not the guy or he plays so well. It's like, yeah, obviously you bring him back with better coaching and they could do something next year. But
yeah,
we'll see.
you're so right about that. Yeah.
It sucks we're here, Raven, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, I know. And like, at the end of the day, when none of us are in that building, I mean, you probably know better than all of us, but like, we all sit here and have these conversations all the time. And it's like, all right, when are we going to like be able to stop having these like roundabout back and forth conversations? And like,
I mean, we're doing GM talk and coach talk in November right now. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Usually we're not doing this song and dance until like December. Well,
insane.
It is almost December, but that it all started like October probably.
I know.
Yeah.
Hang in there though, Raven. All right.
You too, Jake. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good call by Raven, who I think Raven has had a top 10 month. Now, I have no input in the polls, all right, the rankings. But I think Raven's become a great caller. All right. JT, and then a big surprise at the end here. JT, go ahead.
Yo, I just want to say thank you for all that you do for the Jets community. Look what I just got in the mail.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I appreciate you getting some merch.
Yeah, hell yeah. I just went to go check my mail at the work and saw them in the mailbox. So since you're still live, figured I'd pop in there and say thank you and show you that. But I still do have a little bit of work to do, so I'm gonna pop out. You enjoy your night.
We're both rocking the Yankee shirt. I appreciate it, man. Great call. Thanks for getting a pint glass. JakeAsman.com if you want to get something for the holiday season, baby. And if you're going to buy merch, just join the Patreon first, because you'll save more than the $5 it costs to join the Patreon. You get a promo code that gets you discounts on all merch items. Ladies and gentlemen, one last call.
Welcome, my friends. It's a shine time. Shine time. It's time to talk about the Jets. Don't you know it's shine time? Shine time. It's shine time. Time to be with my friends. Hey, have you seen my toe?
Hello, Nick.
You're an asshole.
Hi.
I just want to tell you, since V-Man made it, I'm here to tell you how to make sugar-free Jello. All right, you take four cups, and now we pour it in, and then we're going to stir the Jello into the boiling water until it's all dissolved, and then we're going to add 4 cups equal of cold water, and we're going to put that in the refrigerator. And we're going to allow that to refrigerate until it gels. And enjoy some diabetic treats and sugar-free Jello. Now, I am not going to stay on here the entire time while it waits to gel. But I am going to tell you that the stirring is going successful right now. It's strawberry flavored, for those wondering. I am always team red when it comes to Jello. It's either strawberry or cherry. Those seem to be the only two that they really make in sugar-free. I would like to thank everybody for viewing this channel here with Julia Child. Your young generation probably doesn't even know who Julia Child is. All right, it looks as if the powder has dissolved. It's a very good, nutritious treat. Keeps the sugar down. We're going to add now the cold water. 4 cups equal to the 4 cups of the boiling water. Give that a little stir. And then about 4 hours from now, we'll have Jello, Jake.
Yeah, let's go, Nick Shine. Well done.
Listen, I know how things are on this channel, and I know the level and the standard that you need to be as a caller to call into the show. And V-Man set the bar so high. I felt that I had to come in and share this, brother.
What a way to end this show. Nick, thank you for blessing us. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Nick Shine. Check it in. I love it. We've become a Hallmark channel as the Jets are 3-8. I thought we'd be doing this last week during the bye. But the problem is the Jets then fired their general manager last week, and we had 2 hit pieces and a story from the NFL Network Sunday morning. Unreal. Boomtown providing some final thoughts for us, folks. Bobby is a hypocrite when it comes to questions. Alan and his wife like the sound of his own farts. Confirmed, V-Man was at Walmart. Need more cooking with V-Man segments. Nanny is back. For those who missed the show, you missed a lot. If you couldn't tell. My God. What a time. Thank you all for your incredible support. What a show it was. Thanks to all the calls. Couldn't do it without you. Thanks to Gary, V-Man, Alan, John, Philly Noodles. At the beginning of this, I promise, Andrew Fialkow was on for the first hour. And it was crazy. Anyway, I'm trying to find the right end clip here. Because there's definitely one that's coming to mind, but I don't know where it's located. Hold on. Could this really be a... Oh, it's a best of cut. It has to be. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier we had the return of Gary's nanny. If you missed it, her first appearance over the summer was legendary. Here was Gary's nanny, Morgan, making her debut. I'm back tomorrow. We got 2 shows brewing, 10 a.m., 3 or 4 p.m. every day. You guys know the drill. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon if you haven't already. Go Jets, everybody. And thanks to all the Asmaniacs for your support.
And this is my nanny, babysitter, assistant, helper lady.
Hello.
Hello.
She goes to Oklahoma.
Morgan, how long have you been a nanny to Decker?
3 years. Since 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
You and Gary's wife have done a great job because there's no way Decker turned out the way she did because of Gary. I'm just catching up on some of the comments here, and this is for everyone. You know who you are.
Calm your freaky down.
Just saying. Eric says, good thing Jake didn't put Bobby on. Could you imagine? Some of these comments, man. Jake, you don't want to read the comments. Oh, it's true. I can't even read these comments, man. You guys are terrible. Gary, what are your thoughts on everyone seemingly being a big fan of your nanny?
She's fantastic. She's the best.
She is. That she is.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time. Gary's nanny needs her own emoji. This chat is going wild today, folks. All right. Richard Todd is watching the show in delay, says, just saw Gary's nanny. Interesting. What's so interesting about it? Top Cat says we need Scott to normalize the chat again. Ricky NY is up next. Hello, Ricky.
Okay, did you lose me?
What's up, Ricky?
At any rate, I will be calling back soon with different Wi-Fi.
You're the man, Ricky.
Just put myself in these goddamn situations.
Nah.